Hi, do you want to answer 5 questions for 5 ringgit? Hi, you want to answer 5 questions for 5 ringgit? Then some they'll say no. Then after that they will pause. It's like, wait, what? 5 ringgit? Then I was like, yeah, 5 ringgit, legit 5 ringgit. They say, okay, sure.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ordinary Podcast, where we interview ordinary people with extraordinary lives. And today we have Summer Yong, the founder of Mimshach.
Mimshach. Yeah.
I always get it wrong. Mimshach
Yeah.
on the podcast. Thank you for coming today.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
So okay, before we start, this is now your mentioned agency name. What does it mean, Mimshach?
Okay, you pronounced it correctly the second time. Yeah, so Mimshach means spread and growth in Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a word taken from the Bible. So yeah, basically it means what it means. So we are here to help businesses to spread and grow. So that's why Mimshach Marketing.
Well, what do you do in Mimshach Marketing? What areas of marketing do you do?
We are doing content marketing, specifically in video production. So we help businesses to shoot videos that converts. So we also do those beautiful videos and like nice product images and videos. But we also, but what we focus on, we mainly focus on helping people to sell their products or services using videos by paid marketing.
All right.
Yeah.
And actually, I saw on your bio, your Instagram bio, you used to run a podcast quite a while back called 7-Minute Episodes.
Yeah.
All right. And even your business name actually reflects your journey with God. And
Yeah.
I just want to ask, how does that affect you, or how does that shape you to be the person that you are today?
Wow. But to you, sorry. For your information, the 7-minute episode is still ongoing. We're just putting a pause.
On a break.
Yeah, we're on a break. The break has extended, but we're on a break. Yeah. So 7-minute episode, and yeah, how my journey with God has affected me as a person. I think it changed me a lot. We knew each other since
Yeah. So fun fact, we knew each other since high school.
14. I knew you since 13, but
13. 13.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
And high school was a very wild period for actually all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, do continue. Just a little.
Yeah. So for the past 10 years, I only got to know or go to church 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So ever since then, I think it changed a lot of my perception towards life, my mindset towards different things. And that has really shaped me to become the person who I am. I was not as bold, like coming here in this podcast and speaking like this. I think I would have already be, shivering and all that. But because of the journey that I have in God and going to church and changing myself, that has really just helped me to become who I am now, that I'm more bold and I can speak and I can just relate with people more authentically.
Because I feel, we've known each other for I think more than 10 years now.
Yeah.
There's one point in your life suddenly I felt, hey, someone's doing something different. This is not what he has done. And that was at university. All right, so I think you did finish your university.
I didn't.
Okay, so he did. I didn't finish. Yeah, so he did finish his university, and then there was a period of, hey, what is someone actually doing? And then after a while, he said, hey, he's doing performance marketing, and hence Mimshach Marketing Agency came about. What happened during that period of time? Or what was the mindset you're going, hey, I didn't want to finish my degree, and here's something I want to do?
I was in engineering, second year mechatronics engineering in Monash, and that time COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
So when COVID hit, me specifically, I didn't really want to go to the online class because it really defeats the purpose. You go to engineering school or you take an engineering degree, you want to be hands-on, you want to, experience the lab and all that. But it started off as like a pause because I didn't want to go for online. The online studies. So I took a what do you call that in semester? Defer. I defer my semester.
Defer indefinitely.
Yeah. Yes. So I progressed from defer to discontinue. Okay. Yeah, but initially I defer my semester, and then after that in that 6 months, because each semester is 6 months, so in that 6 months, I sort of like, okay, what should I do? Because I'm free. And at the time, I was also doing part-time for one of my friends in church, where I was helping with the social media side. So I helped him to post, help him to schedule, and help him to come up with content ideas. So that's how I, slowly actually got into it. And my friend also was very willing to allow me to try. So he was like, hey, you can shoot video? Me, can.
Can?
Yeah, me can. I just go to YouTube and I find. Then can you edit videos? Can, no problem, can. So that's how I started helping him with videos and editing. It was, looking back, it was very. I would say the video didn't turn out that well, lah. Okay, so
It's a learning curve.
yeah, it's a learning curve.
You figure out as you go, you try, and then that's a platform for you to,
Yeah. But that helps me, like, that gives me confidence, like, oh, actually I can do videos, or oh, actually I can edit videos. Or seemingly, oh, it's actually not that hard. I just need to put a little bit more time. So it's not like, if you have never tried it before, it might be, or it might sound daunting. It'll be like, edit video, I don't think I can. But because of that opportunity, and I put myself out there, that has actually helped me to, have more confidence.
But when was the turning point you felt that, hey, I don't want to continue university anymore. This ain't it for me, and I'm going to pursue something on my own.
Yeah. So I actually didn't have the thought of really quitting engineering. So I just wanted to take a pause. But then during the pause, something happened to my family. So there was a financial situation that I couldn't continue the studies. But I have the choice of deferring one more SEM and then come back maybe 1 year later or something. So I did told myself that, okay, you know what, since my family is not going to support me, I'm going to support myself, something like that. So I thought I can go and work 1-2 years and then come back to studies. So that's the plan, and I went to work, and I started freelancing. Because of the little experience that I have with this friend, I started offering social media management service. That time social media was a upcoming thing, because of COVID, there's so many gurus that popping up teaching you how to make money with social media. Well, I was one of the students that goes to these gurus. So yeah, and from there I started coming out to work, and I started charging. I didn't charge for the first 3 clients, so I give them free. I was Insta DMing all the businesses that I can search, and then I talk to them and I say, hey, I'm building my portfolio, I'm gonna give you free, things like that. And would you like? And from there I got about 4 to 5 clients. It's a stupid thing to do, people will say, oh, don't ever charge free, don't ever go for free.
I actually disagree with this.
Okay.
You're not the first one. So my previous podcast guest, Natalie, also said, hey, do things for free.
Right.
I've been saying this for the longest time. I was the personal assistant for 2 years for free.
Oh.
I say, just anything I want to learn. Recently, we did an interview with Media Prima CEO, Nazri, and he also said, I did things for free at the start. So that's how you get your foot in the door. I think that's a very, very... People put too much emphasis on, hey, you need to get paid for your time.
Right.
But it depends on what you are. If you're learning, then I feel it's fine for a period of time. But I mean, come to that, how did you eventually turn your free clients into paying clients?
Right. So I decided that, hey, 2 to 3 clients, 4 to 5 clients is a bit too much for free, and I had to travel, and I've got to pay my own.
You got to keep the lights on.
Yeah, I got to keep my lights on. Yeah, that's the term that you use. Yeah, I got to keep my lights on. So I was thinking, and I thought you know what, it's not sustainable to do this. Yes, even though I do not build a lot of a portfolio on that free clients, but I thought, you know what, I should at least charge a small fee. So I decided charging, and then from there, that's how I turned the free clients to the paid clients. Those free clients, eventually, they didn't continue with me when I start charging. So that's the thing, you see.
So you know who values you.
Yeah, I do not have a strong feelings on agreeing or disagreeing with what you just said, whether you should start off free. But I think it really depends on what you're doing. Because if you start off free, a lot of people might take advantage of you.
Right.
And when you start charging, they're all going to go. right? So and what I notice is that when those free clients that I work with, not to say anything about them, but the way they do the way they do their business or the way they do things, it's different than paid clients.
Yeah.
They have different expectations. They have different ways of dealing with you. So eventually, with that 3 to 4 clients, I didn't even really get much result for them. Because they were free partially, and also because of how they were as a business owner.
I mean, I think the commitment when you pay a money, you pay the fee or investment, you're committed to journeying with the agency that you are engaged with. There's more commitment to the end result.
Yeah. So that's why there's really a big difference between paid and free clients. I do encourage people to start off free, but know when you should stop. That's
So-
how I turned from free clients to paid clients, and then eventually, for 2 years, I've been freelancing. Clients after clients, here after. So we do social media management. Then I got into paid ads. So I do paid ads for clients, mainly Facebook and Instagram. And then after that, we also venture into video editing and video shooting, because when it comes to social media advertising, content is very important. I would say at this point, like 2024, content is the most important for me.
Right. Just now you mentioned paid advertising. We'll get into content marketing later, but paid advertising is actually something very, very interesting. Everyone seems to be doing it, but not a lot of people can do it efficiently. I heard a lot of agencies that have been charging for paid advertising, and their clients are just like, hey, where's my money going? Where's the results? And they switch back and forth between different agencies. So I just want to ask, when you pay for an ad, this doesn't equate to performance, right? Like, paid advertising and performance marketing is 2 different things altogether.
Yeah, paid advertising is in the performance marketing umbrella.
Okay, so explain to me as if I'm a new business,
Okay.
and if I have a product and I want to pay ads on it, run ads on it. How do I go about it, or what should I be looking for?
Right. So first thing I want to clarify is that depending on which region you're watching this, the term paid performance marketing is actually being defined differently. So some people would say performance marketing means I only pay when I see the results. That's like performance marketing. So when you go to a performance marketing agency, most people in Malaysia would assume that, if you're a performance marketing agency, meaning when you get results, you get paid. When you don't get results, you don't get paid. So let's say, like you said, you sell a product, and then let's say you will give me 10% of the product revenue from the ads that I run from you. So that's how performance marketing agency works. But again, it's just a term. At the end of the day, to me, performance marketing means marketing that gives you performance, right? And it branch out in different areas. One is paid performance, which is you put in money and then you get back results, you get traffics and you get clicks and you get views. The other one would be more of passive performance marketing, like you writing your blogs. Those are content marketing. So you see the terms always like
It's interchangeable.
Yeah, it's interchangeable. It's like intertwined with each other. But back to your question, if I were to explain to a new business owner what is performance marketing and paid advertising overall, it's basically equate it to the traditional marketing of flyers, and also flyers. Flyers is the one that is very close to paid advertising, because you are paying with your time. Obviously, you gotta pay to print the flyers, and you gotta pay somebody to distribute the flyers. You gotta pay somebody to go and actively reach out to people, instead of just a billboard and then wait for people to pass by and then they see and then it's like, so that's like passive marketing. So flyers is more of like an active marketing, where you go out and you put your ad in front of people, right? So that's how the traditional way, flyers marketing. In digital, which is paid ads, it's same thing. You pay and then you get people to see. You put it in front of people. So Facebook and Instagram, they can be the biggest social media platform today, is because they are able to deliver the right ad
To the right people.
to the right people.
But I think a lot of people actually use paid advertising like a billboard rather than a flyer.
Yes. There are a portion of businesses that do that. Yeah.
Right, and I think usually those are big businesses that will end up doing those, right?
Yeah, but you do see the trend that they are going
More targeted.
More targeted.
Like even for like Apple, you have different ads for different people who watch different things.
Okay, for Apple, honestly, you see, social media, or rather Facebook and Instagram, is actually a very wide, and you can use it as a billboard, you can use it as flyers. A lot of times, businesses that are more established, like Apple, McDonald's, Starbucks, all these different things, they don't care who sees it. Yeah, they don't care who sees it. So I heard from obviously one of my, I wouldn't call him mentor, but I bought his course.
Okay.
So he used to run ads for Apple, and how Apple runs that is just, okay, tell me how many people are there in this city. There are 1.2 million people in this city. How much do I need to pay to reach out to them, all 1.2 million of them? We'll probably need about 15 million in ad budget. Sure. So they don't care who they're reaching out to, whether the person can afford Apple, cannot afford Apple.
I just want everyone to know that Apple exists.
Yeah. So that's like using social media or paid advertising as a billboard. But for SMEs and mainly product-based, let's say I want to sell this cup, you don't want to just advertise how nice this cup is. You want to like put it in front of the person's face. Like, this cup, wow, when you drink from it, the temperature is just nice. After 10 hours, it still be the same. You know, this is like direct response ad.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how you are more aggressive in your paid ads to really get the results.
I think that then it comes to the second part where you do the most, which is actually content marketing. You said, just now you said, oh, this cup does this, and this. So now it comes to the part where how do you create that ad to put it in front of your target demographic? And that's what you do, right?
Yeah, that's
So
what we do.
My question is, how do you create content that actually converts? How do you know is there like a formula, magic formula for it? I know there's none, but what's the closest reference that we can do?
Okay, so I think for direct response ad, there is it's like a house, you got bricks. So to us in our agency, we also have content bricks. So meaning the content that, how should you structure a piece of content, and what are the bricks that you want to put to build up to the content? Well, it might seem a bit hard to imagine and far-fetched, but what it essentially means is that there is a certain formula to converting content, but the differentiator here is how do you creatively shoot or edit the ad in that certain segment. So I'll give you an example so that everything that I say makes sense.
Yeah.
So as a social media ad, rather we call it the direct response ad, meaning in the video itself, we want the viewer to take a certain action. So the first thing is that you must make it interesting. You must grab attention. That's the first thing. So that's the scroll stopper, or some people may call it hook. Yeah. So that is like the content breaks. Like, we know that for every piece of content that we want it to convert, we must have a good scroll stopper. So that's like quote unquote a formula. But how many scroll stopper can you come up with, and how many or how creatively can you make that scroll stopper not too far-fetched? It really ties in with the product that you're trying to sell, but at the same time it's relatable to your viewer. So that is the hard part. So back to your question, we do have a certain formula that we follow. Like, we must have a scroll stopper, and then from the scroll stopper, most of the time we will go to a problem statement. Like, basically we want to point out the pain point, we want to sell the pain point, and then after that we will offer the solution where we position the product that we are selling as a solution. And then you go down to maybe social proof. You want to show that, hey, it's not just me that I'm saying it, but there are thousands of people that have been using this and they see results. So social proof, and then at the end, like, what are you waiting for? If you're struggling with this, you should go and get this. So you can see that if you actively scroll ads, most of it pretty much the same. Like, if you just understand the concept behind it, they're all the same. But how do they tie in creatively? So they might use a scroll stopper that you wouldn't even think about it. Like, you'd be like, when you see the scroll stopper, you think like, okay, this brand is probably selling tables or chairs.
Okay.
But at the end, they're actually selling cups. So how you creatively use these content breaks and put them in together to a content that converts. But the content breaks itself, or the concept behind it, is all the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's like
I wish I can give you more like examples from the top of my head, but I can't. When I think of any.
that was a very good example.
Okay.
I was like, whoa. I never actually thought about content in that way because I do content too. And yes, definitely we have the hook and everything, but we don't think about it as like bricks and everything.
Yeah.
The hook, what we deliver and everything. But yeah, before we go to our break, just one more question regarding digital marketing is,
Yep.
if someone wants to engage with you, all right, what's the first thing they have to, they can do on their own first before they actually engage with an agency?
So currently, what we're offering, we are fully focusing on content creation. So we help brands, businesses, whether you are a retail store, you are online business, or you are a what do you call that? A service-based industry like chiropractors, dentists, and physiotherapists. So if you have a product or service that you would like to sell, and you have a certain presence on social media already, means like you have been posting for some time, you have been using social media as a marketing platform for some time, and you would like to take things to the next level where you want people to see your ad and click into it, whether is it submit their information, inquire of your services, or buy your products. I think that's where you can reach out to us, and we can help you to craft videos that actually converts to help your viewers, to essentially turn your viewers into revenue. That's what we do.
So you need to start something first. Preferably start something first. Don't.
Yeah, preferably you should have something first.
If you have zero social presence, just start an account. Do something first before you actually engage with any. You don't want to simply throw your marketing budget down the drain anyway.
Yeah, that really depends on different business, because I had a client where I started off from ground zero, but they are starting a new brand. So they are not completely new to business. So they're starting a new brand and they have budget. So from the get-go, they engage our service.
The main thing is they have budget.
Yeah.
Money solves all problems, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we're going to have a short break. We'll be back in a while. Okay, and we're back.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so actually on your page, your Mimshach Marketing page, you went to an event by Daily CMO.
Yep.
What's the event called again?
Underdog
Con.
Con, yeah.
Yeah. And you've been interviewing some of the founders there, and one of it actually caught my eye, which was the interview with Over's founder.
VCN, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to show you this video
Okay.
because you did a few on advice that they would tell their younger self. And
What would Over's founder tell his younger self?
What
This
would
video.
Over's founder tell his younger self?
When I was young, I don't dare to go for
You remember what's
different
the-
events,
Yeah, I
joining
remember.
different activities.
yeah, so I remember Summer last time. I would let him say for himself lah. So what do you think about this video if it was a younger Summer?
Well, how young do you mean? Like
high school.
Or just fresh from high school? Yeah, I was a shy person. Not really shy, but
He mixed around his own circles more.
I mix around in my own circles. I don't go out of my circle, my comfort zone. And I think I wouldn't say I'm a person that really cares a lot about outside of my circle, but I care a lot about the people in my circle, like what they think of me. So to a stranger, they might see me as this person that will just like, go out and then like very crazy and then with all the words in his mouth. But actually, when I have to try something like really outside of my comfort zone without my friends, I don't think I would do any of that.
So how does that shape as business owners? The main thing to get business actually networking.
Yeah.
How did you overcome that?
This has a lot to do with my church and how I was raised in church. Not really raised, I was just in church for like 7 years ago. So from there, I think that's where I really get all the experience to go out of my way to like speak to a stranger, to talk to people. Fun fact, one thing that really helped me a lot, I actually went out to train stations and parks to talk to strangers.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did that go?
That has helped me to get used to rejection. Like people say no, people think that I'm selling stuff.
my 保险吗?
Yeah. Yeah. So
No, cannot drop names.
Oh.
Yeah, never mind.
So when I just walk close to them, they'll just wave to me like, no. Like I haven't even say anything. Like I just walking towards it. But I guess that just tells you like salesperson has an aura, you know? Like when they just come to you, you just know like, oh, this person is trying to sell me stuff. Yeah. But anyways, that has helped me to go out of my comfort zone, to speak to people, to talk to people about, you know, topics that maybe it's a little bit sensitive, because that time when I was doing it to basically go out and ask them, like trying to make friends with them, and also obviously, if appropriate, invite them to church. So that was the, we call it street evangelism, and it's very common in every other country, not every other country, sorry, in the Western countries.
No, okay.
Yeah, but it's not really that here. And the way we did it in the past, I think mainly was to just help us to strengthen our social skills lah. I think that's what I get most out of it.
Yeah, I think then also recently your video, so you do go out to the streets now to do content. Like you ask people, hey, do you like paid advertising? Do you like to watch ads? And they'll be like, no.
Yeah.
So how do the people react when you do different kind of, this kind of videos?
I think they reacted well because there was a compensation. I give them $5 if they answer my
So
question.
that's not in the video.
It was. It is. Yeah. I mean, some we cut it lah, where we really.
You actually just.
Yeah, we give them the money.
No, I
like,
mean when you approach them, you just like, hey.
Oh, what I say when I approach them is like, hi, do you want to answer 5 questions for 5 ringgit? Hi, you want to answer 5 questions for 5 ringgit? Then some they'll say no. Then after that they will pause. It's like, wait, what? 5 ringgit? Then I was like, yeah, 5 ringgit, legit 5 ringgit. They say, okay, sure. Yeah, that's how we did it.
Okay, but that's on the street interviews.
Yeah.
You interviewing founders, that's different. So how do you know what questions or, what angle do you want to ask these founders when you met them?
Actually, we never really planned to, like, create a videos like that when I was attending the Underdog Con. But it just so happened, there's so many founders here. Ayo, I haven't posted in a while. Need to post content. So I just thought like, because I was there with my, my team, like previously he was with us as a videographer. So I was there with him. So I was like, pick up the camera lah. Let's just go and talk to them and ask them some questions. Then I thought lah, because the conference is 2 days. So the first day I think I didn't interview anyone. It was on the second day that I thought of like, okay, maybe I should ask them like, what is their advice for their younger self? Because I also want to know, all of them seems pretty young. Some of them is like our age or younger. Some of them is like way older. So I just really want to know what is their genuine advice if they would have to give it to their younger self. Yeah.
And another thing I did want to ask is, out of all the advice you got from them, what was the best advice that the business owners gave? What was the one that stood out the most?
Wow, now we're going to give them a score. I think all of them are good in its own way, but one that really relates very much with me is that by Richard Kerr. One of these also in the videos. So basically he mentioned something along the line where don't be afraid of making mistake, don't be afraid of failure, and you just need to keep going out there and do and show up, and also tell your story, tell your authentic story. I think for his video, it was the longest because from one single question, it just made me have more questions. So I just asked him, I think we recorded like 18 minutes of it. Like we're just standing there. I might be exaggerating, but I remember it was the longest. It was quite hard to edit. So we asked him like advice, and then he gave his advice. Then we asked him like, so you recommend us to tell our story, but what happens if, let's say, our story is like not interesting? If our story is like, it's like everybody shares the same thing, everybody goes through it. Like, we tend to have that kind of assumption. Like, So we asked him, then he's like, no, all of you are unique, and the mistakes you make could be, beneficial for people. So don't be afraid to share it, and don't be afraid to make mistake. So that is one of the best advice, I would say, most relatable to me.
Speaking about mistakes, I just want to ask, what is a mistake that you made that you think people should know about it and, don't repeat the same thing that you did?
Business-wise or like general?
And just general, one major thing that you...
Oh, this is a tough question. Let me see. A mistake that I made that I think people should know about. I think the mistake that I make that people should know about is thinking too much. Yeah, I'm overthink. I was, and I'm changing. Okay, so I was an overthinker. I think a lot. Trying to be perfect. So the mistake that I make in business and also in life in general is trying to be perfect, and that tends to makes me wants to project myself a lot. So for example, I could be sitting here, having this podcast with you. I'm really thinking, okay, after this podcast, my task, like, oh shit, what is that I'm gonna do?
He's already start working.
Yeah, I'm already working right here, and it's really exhausting. So I think that's one of the biggest mistake that I made, you know, throughout my life until up to recently that I noticed this and I'm starting to change. Not just in work-wise, even in relationship with friends, with family, you tend to over-interpret what the person say. You tend to care about what they think a lot. So before you could even make your next step, you'll be thinking, oh, what would my mom say? Or what would my mom think? Like, I can really imagine if I do this, this is what will happen to me, right? And not just this, like I have like a
Whole
laundry
list of
yeah, laundry list of scenarios that could happen to me, and that is really restrictive in making decisions, and also it actually not just restrict you, it also prolongs your growth, because the longer you take to make a decision, the longer you learn from it, whether is it good or bad.
Right, thanks for that. And I think before this, we actually talked about you're currently married.
Yes.
And you have a beautiful wife.
Yes.
Behind the camera. Being married so early in life, how did that actually come along? What was the point to say, hey, she's the right person for me, and this is the right thing to do?
Tying back to my values, I would say when I got into the relationship, it was meant to be marriage. But then I didn't. Initially, I didn't plan it to be so soon.
Yeah.
Right. But then, as we were together for about 5 years, within that 5 years, there were a lot of ups and downs. There were a lot of breaking and coming back. You know, it was painful, and that has, whenever we come back together again, it actually makes us stronger, and that would just sort of like, how to say, it gives each other more confidence that okay, we are the one for each other. And my plan was to at least build the business to a certain level, have a certain financial stability, then only we will, get married. But having a conversation with one of my friend back then has just struck me where he says, if you already know that she's the one, why is the hold up? Like, why do you need to wait until that thing happened? Why do you need to wait until you're financially stable? Because it's not like once you get married, she's not working and then you got to like pay for everything. It's not like that. But if she's the one, then you should take an action that is aligned with your intention. So, and when I think about it, it's true like there's nothing holding us back. People, I think Asians, they tend to have, okay, I'm not trying to discriminate or anything, but just...
We have timelines, actually.
Yeah, we have timeline, and like our culture just make us think that marriage is like a big thing. I mean, it is a big thing, don't get me wrong, but our culture sort of make us feel like, oh, you need to have this, then only you think about marriage. If you don't have this, don't even think about marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not really true, because it's not unfair, especially to the woman. She's waiting for you to give her a ring on the finger, and you promise that you're gonna give her, and you say you should have 1, 2, 3, only you will give her the ring.
So it means it's conditional.
Yeah. What if you don't get the 1, 2, 3 in time? What if you don't get the 1, 2, 3 in your expected timeline? Are you gonna say like, okay lah, compromise lah, let's get married now lah, right? It's so not sincere, right? So I think that conversation with the friend really like put a lot of thoughts in me, and I was like, and I really reflected on myself, and yeah, that's not really a big thing, in a sense that you don't really need to get the 1, 2, 3 until you get married. You can get married, and then build on the 1, 2, 3 together. That's
Right.
even better.
And I think a follow-up question to that is, I think everyone is afraid of what happens after the marriage, because that's a change in status quo,
Yeah.
right? So I think what the question is, what things has changed drastically, or what has changed after you got married? Any noticeable things?
People started asking for ang paos.
I should have came.
Yeah, that's one of the, okay, jokes aside, but that's one of the things that you can see very obviously. Other than that is our relationship with each other. So now that we are married, names signed on the paper, it just gives you a different level of commitments and gives you a different level of trust as well. That you know that she's your wife, she's the one that will be here even 20 years, 30 years from now. She knows that I will be there 20, 30 years from now. So there's this assurance. It just gives you the confidence to really go forward and move forward in life.
It allows you to go all out, because now you know that she is the one. You can do it. You can build this family together, which is your thing for the next.
Yeah,
30,
and
40
it
years.
also helps you to be more, you can keep each other in check, and you can also help each other to be accountable in the goals individually and as a family. Because sometimes if you are not married, boy, girlfriend,
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
The commitment is not there to the certain extent, because
Yeah.
you're always, hey, it might or might not work out. You're still in that.
yeah.
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 All right, thanks. Before we end, one last question.
Oh, we're ending?
Oh, we can go on and
No.
on and on.
Yeah.
But this is the one question that you ask the owners, what advice would you give your younger self? I'm asking you now, what's advice you give a younger summer?
I wanted to say don't overthink, but then I think it's not possible for the younger someone
Yeah.
to not overthink. So I would say to seek help early, right? Seeking help, not like, oh, because I've got some mental issues and all that, but seeking help in terms of you can only see what you can see. You don't know what you don't know. I think that's the term, right? You don't know what you don't know. So if you were to seek help and be coachable and really go out and learn and absorb from other people, that would really help you to know what you don't know. Because when you know what you don't know, then you can work towards knowing the thing that you don't know, right? But if you don't even know what you don't know, you're just always in your own small little world, right? Then you will never step out. And it is only through me going out, seeking help, that I realized that, hey, my overthinking issue is actually tied back with my childhood. It's actually tied back with my parents. It actually tied back with my lifestyle in the past. So from there, then I know, oh, so if I want to work on my overthinking issues, I need to work on this first. But the past summer, wouldn't know. You think that overthinking, the way that I can stop overthinking is just tell myself, okay, don't overthink, don't overthink, don't overthink, don't overthink. But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. How?
How to seek help?
Yes.
Okay. With internet nowadays, you can always search and also read more in that specific what do you call that? That specific thing that you want to work on. So one thing that I can help you all to start with, speaking of my own journey, is that a lot of our current behaviors, especially those that are negative, it could be addictions, it could be, like I said, overthinking, it's all actually tied back to your childhood. It all ties back to your your inner child, and how you were treated, or how you did not get treated the way you wanted back when you were young, obviously from your parents, from your teachers, from your friends. So this is my own specific journey, which I'm currently in a course to heal myself. So we call it inner healing. And from there, it gives me a lot of awareness that, hey, I'm behaving in such a way because when I was young, this is how I was treated. So how to seek help? Start from there. If you're interested to understand more about, inner healing, and you want to change a certain habits that you've been struggling with for a lot of years, most probably, I would say 99% of the time, is tied back to your childhood. So maybe you can start from there.
All right.
Maybe search about inner healing, search about inner child healing, search about childhood traumas, and how it affects you as an adult. I think that's where you can get started with.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was a
welcome.
great session. I really had a lot of value coming out from you. All right. Thanks, man.
Yay.